עוד לא. Shalom, everyone. Shalom, everyone. Please take your seats. נדב זה שם. נדב זה שם. הכיסא שלו שם. לא, אני לא יודע איפה הוא. Hello everybody. Please take your seats. We want to start in just a few minutes. Shalom, everyone. First of all, before we begin, I just want to say how good all of you look. We will start in just a few minutes. I'll just, when I tell you, the Prime Minister will enter, and I'll ask you all to stand for his entry. We'll have the Prime Minister speak, and then the Foreign Minister. Then we'll have a musical pause and representatives of the delegations. And then we'll go back to the musical part, and we'll finish with the national anthems of Israel and the United States. Okay, so we'll wait just for the cue that the Prime Minister is ready, and we'll start in 2 or 3 minutes. Thank you. Shalom and welcome to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Jerusalem, the eternal capital of the State of Israel. We are honored, yes, thank you. We are honored to host today 250 state legislators from all 50 states of the United States of America. Who have come to Israel as part of the unique and historic 50-state One Israel delegation. May I kindly ask everyone to rise as we welcome the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, His Excellency Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Foreign Minister of the State of Israel, His Excellency Mr. Gideon Sa'ar.
Welcome to Israel. We are thrilled to have you here as part of the 50 States One Israel delegation. During your week in Israel, you will meet with our national leaders, including the Prime Minister, the President, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and more. You will explore the rich culture and history of Jerusalem, honor the past at Yad Vashem, and see the resilience of communities in the Gaza envelope. You'll also experience the vibrant life of Tel Aviv and discover Israel's groundbreaking innovation. Along the way, you will gain a deeper understanding of the Abraham Accords and the complex geopolitical realities shaping our region today. Thank you for being part of this historic journey. Together, we strengthen the bond between Israel and the United States. Welcome to Israel.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar, Deputy Foreign Minister Sharren Haskel, Director General of the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs Eden Bartal, Ambassador of Israel to the United States, His Excellency Yechiel Leiter, President and CEO of the Jewish Federations of North America, Eric Fingerhut, delegates of the 50-state One Israel delegation, dear friends and colleagues, shalom and good afternoon. It's an honor to open this event and welcome you all on behalf of the State of Israel. The 50-state One Israel delegation was created in order to deepen and strengthen the special bond between the State of Israel and each of the 50 states of the United States. This relationship is built on shared values of democracy, liberty, and justice, and it enjoys a strong bipartisan support across the American political spectrum. This bipartisan support is a source of strength for Israel and for our people. The bond between Israel and the United States is unbreakable, and it will remain so forever. It's my honor. It is my honor to invite to the stage the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, His Excellency Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Thank you. Can I ask a question? How many of you are visiting Israel for the first time? How many have been here before? Wow, two. Well, welcome to all of you. It's very good to see you here with Foreign Minister Sa'ar and the Deputy Minister Sharren Haskel and our Ambassador to Washington, Yechiel. Stand up. Look at this man. Look at this man. Look at him. He, Yechiel, represents the greatest military comeback in recent history. On October 7th, we were attacked with no provocation by the Hamas monsters. They murdered 1,200 of our citizens. They burnt babies alive. They raped and then murdered women. They beheaded men. They took 250-some hostages, grandmothers, grandchildren, Holocaust survivors, to the dungeons of Gaza. I think a lot of people thought that we were on the ropes or perhaps flat on the ground, and we didn't have a chance of coming back. A day later, on October 8th, Hezbollah joined the fray. They started rocketing our cities. Again, no provocation. I said on that day that we will change the face of the Middle East. I said that because it was clear to me from day one that we weren't just fighting Hamas. We were fighting the Iran axis that consisted of Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, the three H's, and a few others in between. And while we would start with Hamas, we'd have to eventually reach the patron, and in one way or the other, all the elements of this terror axis. This is what we proceeded to do, first by striking hard at Hamas, then when their main forces, main organized military forces, were obliterated, we went to the north. I hope none of you have beepers. And proceeded to take out Hassan Nasrallah of Hezbollah, who was, in effect, the axis of the axis. He actually held this axis together. And once he was gone, the Assad, the murderous Assad regime in Syria, collapsed, because during the Syrian civil war, it wasn't the Syrian army that fought Assad's enemies. It was, invariably, when the battle didn't go well, Nasrallah would send in thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of Hezbollah troops to save his regime. Now, Nasrallah was gone, Hezbollah was crippled, so Assad fell. And once he fell, the land route that connected this axis from Tehran to the sea, to Lebanon, was gone. And now what happened was that the death noose that Hamas wanted to, that Iran wanted to place around our necks, was gone. That was one of their vehicles to annihilate Israel. Remember, they chanted, "Death to America, death to Israel." To achieve death to America, they have to achieve first death to Israel, because we are America's front line here. And the only force in the Middle East that was challenging, forcibly challenging, and fighting them in their quest for domination and subordination and annihilation. But ultimately, they were geared to America. So their goal was to, we still have to destroy Israel. What did they do? They began to race to the bomb. They already had enough enriched uranium, but you need the weapon around that uranium ball. And so they began to work secretly to activate their weaponization team, it's called in jargon, okay? We knew that if we didn't act, within a year they'd have one atomic bomb, possibly two. So we acted. We acted like somebody who has two lumps of cancer. One lump is the atomic cancer, the specter of atomic bombs, and the second one is the specter of 20,000 ballistic missiles, 1-ton ballistic missiles that fall Mach 6 to Mach 8, right from the sky. And they destroy everything that they touch. 20,000 of those in a state the size of New Jersey. Right, bigger than Rhode Island, bigger than Rhode Island. But that's it, you know. Well, that's equivalent to 2 nuclear bombs. So we had to act. If we didn't act, we'd die. And with us die the whole story, the 3.5 millennia story of the Jewish people. And of course, if you do act, you know, it might come back. That's what happens with cancer. But if you don't act, you're not going to be here. So we acted with the just incredible help of President Trump and those brave pilots of the United States. Our soldiers fought like lions. Our pilots just struck like lightning. And our alliance roared like thunder. And that did that. We pushed those two great perils away from our door and away from your door, because Iran's plan was to have ballistic missiles that would reach first deep into Europe, then 8,000 kilometers. You add another 3, and you're on the eastern seaboard. Those of you who are deeper inside, it'll take a little more time. But that was the goal, death to America. And they'd have these ballistic missiles, ICBMs, and the means to give them nuclear warheads. You're all under the gun. So we were fighting not only our enemies, we were fighting your enemies. And now we're circling back to Gaza to finish the job where it all began. There's still some strongholds that we have to take apart. They're holding our hostages. We are committed with America to release all the hostages, the living and the dead. And we're not going to compromise on it, nor will we compromise. Nor will we compromise on eliminating Hamas, because if Hamas is there, they'll regroup, they'll recover, they'll rearm. And as they vow, they'll do it over and over and over again. So this is where we are right now, on the verge of entering Gaza and defeating Hamas and liberating our hostages. This has not been easy, not for our brave soldiers, not for our brave Israeli public, but they withstood it no less effectively than the British people stood up in the Blitz. That's exactly what we had. But we also enjoyed the support of the United States. We enjoyed the support, and we enjoyed your support. You're the biggest delegation of legislators that have ever come to Israel, and I thank you for coming here to stand up with Israel. Thank you. Democrats and Republicans alike, we value and cherish your support. And there is an active effort to erode it. That effort to besiege Israel, not isolate it as much as besiege Israel. That is orchestrated by the same forces that supported Iran. Iran's effort to put a military siege on us and ultimately choke us. We were able to break loose from that siege, and we will have to do several things to break loose from this siege that is organized by a few states. One is China, and the other is Qatar. And they are organizing an attack on Israel legitimacy in the social media of the Western world and the United States. We will have to counter it, and we will counter it with our own efforts. I think that's rule number one. The second thing is something that they can do uniquely in Western Europe. Western Europe has large Islamist minorities. They're vocal. Many of them are politically motivated. They align with Hamas. They align with Iran. They pressure the governments of Western Europe, many of whom are kindly disposed to Israel, but they see that they're being overtaken, really, by campaigns of violent protest and constant intimidation. And so they fall into this siege. And we can break this siege I just said this in another meeting, and they said, oh, Israel is isolated. Israel can't break out of the siege. And I said, we will. Some of them have stopped weapon component shipments. Can we get out of this? Yes, we can. We're pretty good at producing weapons. Like intelligence, we share both with the United States. A good chunk of your intel. And our weapon systems, we share with the United States. We're tremendously appreciative of the bipartisan support in military matters to Israel in previous years and today as well. But do you have cell phones? You have cell phones here? No? You're holding a piece of Israel right there. You know that? I mean, a lot of the cell phones, the medicines, the foods, you eat cherry tomatoes. You know where that was made? I don't like cherry tomatoes, but it's an Israel. What can I do? It's an Israeli product, as are so many other things. And I think this serves for the betterment of all mankind and womankind. I think that is Israel's unknown contribution. But we can make things, we can produce things. We cherish the fact that we have the constancy of American support despite the attempts to erode it. And we'll continue to work to make sure that that continues on both sides of the aisle. It's very important for us. But equally, we will eventually create the independence that we need so those in Western Europe who think they can deny us things will not succeed. We can break this siege, and we will. And the last thing that I want to say is that this is not a battle just for national interests, not just for our national interest and your national interest. Those theological thugs in Tehran who amassed the crowds, who took American hostages on the first few days of their tyranny, and who since chant death to America, they only see Israel as a roadblock on the way to subjugate you, subordinate you, and threaten you. And they see Israel as you. And if you look at what the Islamist radicals here and around the world say, they say that we are you, we're just a piece of you, and you are us. I disagree with everything they say except this. I think they're right. I think we're part of a common civilization with deep historic roots of common heritage. When I went to, I've spoken 4 times in the joint session of Congress, and I look at the far wall, and some of you, maybe all of you will end up there, you know. Do you really want to? Well, those of you who are crazy enough to want, I mean, anybody entering politics has got to be insane, but there are quite a few insane people here. So for those of you who go there, or next time you visit the Capitol, just look at what's on the other wall. I'm at the dais, you know, the podium, and I look at the far wall, and what do they have? Moses. Moses. A quote from the Bible about liberty. You remember Moses taking the people of Israel out of bondage in Egypt? Familiar with this story? I'm glad there are enough. We have a common heritage, and that heritage is being challenged now by people who not only want to bring us back to the early Middle Ages with incredible fanaticism and cruelty, it's also savagery. The things we encountered on October 7th, the things we just encountered not only in Gaza, but in Syria, in the wanton attack on our Druze neighbors. That's a non-Islamic sect, and they're living there in a mountain. And what they endured exceeded, in some cases, the horrors that we saw on October 7th. But what we saw there is what you saw on September 11th. It's the same thing. It's this raw savagery, the glint of murder You know, those savages on October 7th, they had GoPro cameras. And they broadcast back in live broadcasts, as they mauled babies. And the horrors that they did. So there's a glee, a horrible glee of death and the worship of a death cult there that is completely the opposite of the values that we hold dear. Life, liberty. What's the other one? I visited Monticello, Jefferson's place, and that's what I saw there. I saw Jefferson, who was well-versed in the Bible, spoke about the Holy Land, quoted the prophets. He understood the roots of our common civilization, as did the other founding fathers of America, as did Abraham Lincoln on his death date. He said that his one hope was to visit Jerusalem, come to the Holy Land, to see the place where our common heritage began and from which it will continue. I'm glad you are here to visit Jerusalem, to see the place of our common heritage and where our common civilization, well defended by our great alliance, will continue. Thank you for coming to Jerusalem. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. קודם כל, הכוונה שלי להטלת מצור עלינו. כמו שהאיראנים הטילו עלינו מצור, וקיוו שהמצור הזה בעצם יכחיד אותנו. אנחנו פרצנו את המצור הזה, כולם רואים את זה. ואנחנו גם יודעים שיש עכשיו ניסיון של הטלת מצור על ישראל, על ידי גופים שונים ועל ידי מדינות שונות, בראשם קטר. קודם כל מצור תקשורתי שממומן בכסף ענק, גם של קטר, גם של מדינות אחרות כמו סין, והם פועלים גם במערב, ולא פחות מזה בארצות הברית. אני שמח לראות כאן את הביקור הגדול ביותר של מחוקקים מארצות הברית בתולדות ישראל. אנחנו נלחמים בזה, ואנחנו נשקיע גם ומשקיעים כסף גדול, משאבים גדולים, במאמצים להדוף את החלק הזה של המצור. החלק השני הוא יותר ממוקד, והוא ממוקד במדינות מערב אירופה, בהפעלת המיעוטים המוסלמיים שם, שהופכים קולניים, אלימים ומאיימים על המדינות. ולכן אנחנו רואים את המצור הזה מתמקד במערב אירופה. ושם אמרתי שמפסיקים לנו משלוחי נשק וכו', וזה קורה עכשיו. אנחנו נצטרך בשנים הקרובות להעצים את תעשיות הנשק העצמאיות שלנו, כדי שיהיה לנו עצמאות של חימושים, בכלכלת חימושים, ביכולת התעשייתית לייצר אותם. ולכן אנחנו נפרוץ את המצור הזה. אז האם השיגו בידוד עולמי? לא. ארצות הברית איתנו, גם הרבה מדינות אחרות, אבל יש לנו בעיה ממוקדת כרגע במערב אירופה, ואנחנו פועלים ונמשיך לפעול להסיר את המצור הזה. כמו שהצלחנו עם המצור הצבאי, כך נצליח גם במצור המדיני. Did you understand that? Hebrew lessons next door. Thank you.
Please be seated. Thank you, Prime Minister. It is now my privilege to invite the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Israel, His Excellency Mr. Gideon Sa'ar, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you. Deputy Minister Sharon Haskel, Ambassador Yechiel Leiter, distinguished legislators from all 50 states, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to begin by thanking you all for coming on this special visit. As we saw, for many of you, this is your first time here. Welcome to Israel. Welcome to Jerusalem, our eternal capital. 250 state legislators from 50 states, Republicans and Democrats. This extraordinary delegation is a testament to the depth of the bond between our nations. It's a living expression of our grand alliance. This is probably the most significant delegation brought yet to Israel by the Foreign Ministry. It's a part of a larger, ongoing public diplomacy campaign led by my ministry, and it is part of our effort to strengthen the great Israeli-American alliance. Israel has no greater friend than America. The US is a global superpower, but it is also a moral superpower. The Declaration of Independence that the Prime Minister just quoted, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is what promised. America has not only upheld those values, it is and has been a beacon of light, liberty, and justice for the world. Through its bold leadership, America makes the world a better place. And America has no ally more effective than Israel. The alliance between our nations safeguards American national security interests. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East, until now. From day one, and for 77 years already, it has been battling, we have been battling for our existence. We fought long and hard against the most radical and extremist enemies. Enemies of the United States too. Enemies that threaten our shared values. There is no better way for America to protect its values and interests in our region than its close partnership with Israel. This partnership was supremely demonstrated in our joint operation against Iran's nuclear facilities in June. Together, we prevented the world's most dangerous regime from obtaining the world's most dangerous weapon. The greatness of the operation, led by Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump, reflects the greatness of American leadership in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing a coordinated global effort against Israel today. The Prime Minister had described that. It is not an attempt to change our borders. It is not an attempt to establish a Palestinian state. It is an attempt to eliminate the state of Israel, the only Jewish state. This is what it is. Since Israel's birth, our enemies tried to eliminate us through different military means, wars, and terror from all kinds. All of these efforts failed time and again. When they met the iron will of the Jewish people to defend ourselves, to ensure our own existence, when military means failed, our enemies developed new tools. Their goal remained the same: eliminating the Jewish state. They turned to propaganda, political, legal, and economic warfare. Part of this well-oiled machine is the effort to boycott Israel through BDS and other means. The best answer against BDS until these days has been anti-BDS legislation by your state. You did it, and thank you for that. But now we are witnessing a new wave, a stronger wave, an increased use of this tool. Israel can defend itself by itself on the battlefield. We demonstrated that time and again. But we need your assistance in the fierce battle of delegitimization. The boycotters must be boycotted. Those who delegitimize must themselves be delegitimized. The tools may be new, but the name of this campaign is very ancient. It is anti-Semitism. And its new form is the delegitimization of the State of Israel, the only Jewish state. Anti-Semitism was out of fashion after the Holocaust, but it has come back now stronger than ever. And this new anti-Semitism has unfortunately found its way also into the United States, which is something we hadn't saw in the past. The new anti-Semites who think they can cleverly hunt Jews through economic means must be deterred. There are still some states without BDS laws. We call on you, ensure your home states have laws to protect Israel and Jews against its modern anti-Semitism. To those who already have anti-BDS laws, that's the majority, we thank you. But each and every one of you have the ability to set a personal and powerful example. To fight BDS by turning it on its head. Instead of boycotting Israel, promote engagement with Israel. Instead of divesting from Israel, promote investments in Israel. Everything is good there? Probably. And instead of sanctioning the only Jewish state, speak out clearly against those who use this age-old hatred in a modern way. Distinguished legislators, criticism of Israel's policies is legitimate. But what we are witnessing today in the world goes far beyond that. We are drowning in a sea of fake, of lies, a starvation campaign, a genocide campaign, an apartheid campaign. These are done through social media, and so your presence here is more important than ever. You are on the ground seeing Israel and the truth with your own eyes. Together, we must speak truth against lies. We must give voice to the facts over the fake propaganda being spread. I want to pay my condolences for the horrific murder of Charlie Kirk. He was a great friend of Israel. He helped us a lot. He understood that our battles are linked, that our fight for freedom, truth, and our civilization is basically one. It must be clearly stated, political violence has no place in our societies. It threatens freedom, attempts to use violence and silencing to settle differences must be denounced. This phenomenon uses harassment, threats, and attempts to bully and scare political opponents into silence. It is not only happening in America, it's also happening around the world. It's happening strongly in Europe. It's happening against Israel and against those standing for our values. Just yesterday, a pro-Palestinian mob sabotaged the Vuelta bicycle race in Spain. They did so with the support and encouragement of the Spanish Prime Minister. It's almost unbelievable. Mr. Sanchez and his communist ministers encouraged violence and praised those who did it also afterwards. It happened just days after he expressed regret at lacking an atomic bomb to stop Israel. The normalization of political violence, and this is a normalization of political violence by the Prime Minister of Spain and his ministers, threatens all that we stand for. It must end now. Ladies and gentlemen, your presence here together in Israel represents America at its best. I hope that your time here will be meaningful. Our ministry worked hard to create an interesting and enriching experience. I want to thank the dedicated workers in the foreign ministry who made this special visit possible. I especially want to thank our North American division headed by Lior Hayat. Thank you. But most of all, I want to thank you, the legislators, our dear guests. We are counting on your support. We are counting on your friendship, partnership, and leadership. We look forward to taking our great alliance to new heights. God bless America. God bless Israel. And as we approach the Jewish New Year, I wish you all a Happy New Year. Shana Tova. May it be a year of strength, truth, and hopefully of peace. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Foreign Minister Saar. Now I'm pleased to invite to the stage one of Israel's beloved singers, David Daor.
Thank you. Such a great honor to sing for you. Thank you for being good friends of Israel. Thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
I would like to sing for you a song that has been written by two Jewish musicians, and they wrote it after they ran away from the pogroms in Russia. It's a very famous song in the States. They went to the United States.
Somewhere way up high. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true.
Would you join me?
Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. If birds fly over the rainbow, why then, oh why can't I?
This is Yaron Bachar on the piano. Together with me. 1, 2.
Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. If birds fly over the rainbow, why then, oh why
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, David. It's now my pleasure to invite the representatives of the 50 States One Israel delegation to deliver their remarks on behalf of the entire delegation. Lieutenant Governor of the great state of North Dakota, Michelle Stranden, and State Senator from the great state of Florida, Lori Berman. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Prime Minister Netanyahu Minister of Foreign Affairs, Israeli dignitaries, and my fellow American officials. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today. It's truly an honor. Being Lieutenant Governor of North Dakota has been a highlight of my career, first and foremost, because I get to go to work every day to make a positive difference. We all can make a positive difference, not only in the lives of our citizens, but in the lives of the American people and people all over the world. In North Dakota, we play an outsized role in supplying our nation with the world with food, energy, and strategic defense capabilities. North Dakota is 6,400 miles away from here, but we are closer than our distance apart would suggest. What happens in Israel affects what happens right in our own backyard. We pay attention to Israel. More importantly, we in North Dakota and all of us here stand with Israel. In the wake of the horrific massacre on October 7th, 2023, our governor, Kelly Armstrong, who was then serving as North Dakota's lone representative in Congress, voted to provide Israel with whatever support it needed. At the same time, I was serving in the North Dakota House of Representatives when we overwhelmingly approved a resolution affirming our support for the State of Israel and our unwavering commitment to its welfare, security, and survival. We recognized Israel's right to act decisively and unilaterally in self-defense to eliminate Hamas terrorist organization. And we resolved to support not only the people of Israel, but to ensure that Jewish Americans, like all Americans, are treated with dignity and respect. We wanted to let them know that we stand with the Jewish people. In America, one of our founding principles and basic rights is freedom of religion. It's enshrined in the First Amendment of our Constitution, and it is protected through the courageous service of our military soldiers who defend our freedom. While we have no official state religion, it's worth noting that our nation's historical and cultural development have been heavily influenced by our Judeo-Christian thought, all the way back to our founding fathers and our nation's motto, "In God we trust." Through this foundation of faith, we're bound to you, our brothers and sisters in Israel. Americans still flock by the hundreds of thousands to the Holy Land every year, thirsting for spiritual connection and setting foot on this holy and sacred soil. And so I feel incredibly blessed and full of gratitude for the opportunity to share the experience of Israel with all of you this week. Let's make the most of this opportunity to grow in our understanding of each other, to forge new relationships, to build strong partnerships that will benefit our respective nations and our people for generations to come. Thank you and shalom.
Thank you. Mr. Prime Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs, fellow legislators, and distinguished guests, it is an honor to be with you in the land of Israel. I know that all of us are deeply grateful to the State of Israel for organizing this 50-state delegation, and I ask you to join me in giving them a hand for that. As an American Jew, I hold deep family, cultural, and religious ties to Israel. I have always and will always advocate for a vibrant and strong Israel state. My home, Palm Beach County, is the 4th largest Jewish population in the United States. Palm Beach County, I am proud to report, is one of the largest institutional purchasers of Israel bonds, totaling over $700 million. And I am equally proud to report that this was facilitated through bipartisan legislation unanimously approved by the Florida legislature. There is no more important time for us to be in Israel than now. A recurring theme that we hear back home was crystallized in a recent headline in the Wall Street Journal. Israel is winning the war, but losing the world. My hope is that this mission will equip all of us as opinion leaders with the tools and perspective to address this concern. By gaining a deeper, more holistic understanding of the current situation, we can all return home better prepared to advocate, educate, and rally continued support. The American-Israeli relationship has always been strong and importantly bipartisan, and it is essential that it remain so. As we mark the convergence of three significant events, the 5th anniversary of the Abraham Accords, the upcoming 2nd anniversary of the horrific October 7th attack, and the arrival of the Jewish High Holy Days, let us come together in hope and prayer for the safe return of the hostages, for an end to war, and for shalom, peace. Long live the people of Israel. Am Yisrael Chai.
Thank you very much, representatives. And